Hi, everyone. As most people know, I'm Dorothy McGivney, the GM of Meetup Pro, and I wanted to introduce the following guests, all Meetup Pro customers. We're so grateful they traveled here to New York City to be with us and so appreciative of their business because they help to serve our users, their communities, and they do so with a level of commitment and professionalism that should make all of Meetup proud. Our Meetup Pro organizers are Amy of the Sacramento Public Library. Welcome, Amy. There are 7 groups in her network, and all her groups are based in Sacramento area, and they're organized around topic. They meet to discuss everything from gardening to arts and crafts and current events. We have Jean and Denise from WESOS. Jean and Denise are joining us from Chicago. WESOS holds meetups for women entrepreneurs who want to network and share knowledge with one another. They've grown to 13 groups and hope to strategically grow in the near future. And then finally, we have Jonathan of Walk to Connect. Jonathan is joining us from Colorado, and he aims to build a walking movement. He empowers local leaders while providing necessary training and resources to help them succeed. Walk to Connect is 7 groups strong. We'll have a Q&A in the last 15 minutes of this, so please hold your questions to the end, and I will let Carolyn take it away.
We're so grateful you guys are here. We know that our organizers they exemplify the leadership qualities of being welcoming and spirited and real and thoughtful and impactful, and you guys do it at scale, which is not an easy thing. It's one thing to do it with one meetup group. It's an entirely different thing to do it with lots of meetup groups. So I'm really looking forward to diving in with you. And thank you for traveling. You flew from many, many different places, so thanks for being here. Okay, Jonathan, yes. We're going to start with you.
Okay, great.
I want everybody to hear about your walk from Delaware to San Francisco and how it inspired Walk to Connect.
Yeah, how much time do we have?
Okay, well, not that much,
I'm just
actually.
Kidding. I could go on and on. Yeah, so this was very much a very deep personal journey. I wanted to really simplify and disconnect, but to reconnect at the same time with so much, as you can imagine. So March 1st of 2010, I left the Delaware coast and walked for 242 days to San Francisco. And this was a solo trip with my dog, who's a blue heeler husky mix. It was amazing. But what was so profound, as you can imagine, for being at an unhurried pace, and unhurried is key, relationship to time, living out of a backpack, and being in relationship with thousands of people through the context of walking, shoulder to shoulder, heart to heart, and people from every background you can imagine. Politics, religion, race, income, class, sexual orientation, you name it, to have that spread of diversity alongside for hours, walking into rural, urban, suburban landscapes, high desert landscapes, mountains, towns, cities, moving the way we're made to move, really, our most intrinsic form of getting around and seeing one another. So to have that for 8.5 months just was profound, and it just really gifted an invitation to how do I help in as many creative ways as I can, more and more people to connect the way we're made to move. Under our true ceiling, outside, the inner and the outer wisdom that lives in that invitation is so deep. So, yeah. And
so then you came back and settled in Denver. And then how did you get Walk to Connect started, and how has Pro helped you in that?
Yeah, so I really just started. I had no idea what I was doing. So I just started leading walks and posting flyers and signed up to Meetup pretty quickly. And I started with 20-mile rambles around Denver. So these are like 360 loops. Saturday morning, let's just sign up, meet me here, and we'll walk for 20 miles together. Surely there's interest. and there was a couple of us, just 2 of us. But it was great. Both people were so odd. That's really funny, I know. But they were so oddly different, and it was incredibly awkward for the first 15 minutes. But for the next 7.5 hours, those, I'm telling you, meet up in 20-mile fashion. it was life-changing. These two people are in my life forever, and they're a part of shaping Walk to Connect now. Walk to Connect is now a worker-owned cooperative, so we've gotten really creative with using the collaborative communal model inside of our business model. So we're a horizontally run, democratically run cooperative business. So we're really doing some creative things, and that birthed from the collaborative spirit of Meetup as we founded so many of our walks. So now we have over probably 200 active walking leaders that we train, over 1,000 that have been trained. We've got 40 to 60 walks happening every week, and it's all around the state of Colorado. We're a social business, so we have a lot of partnership walks, themed walks, long distance. We get as mindful, contemplative, all kinds of stuff. So, and it really depends on the specific interests of the leader. So the Pro Network just has been it's just been a natural extension of really wanting to create a walking container, hiking container, and even inclusive to moving by wheelchair, just unhurried 1 to 3 miles an hour. Our tag is #life@3mph. And so we've just gotten really creative with how do we prioritize our most inherent, our most sacred, our most fundamental form of movement. I'm in the hub of walking here, so many of you are like, dude, we do this every day, we do it all the time. But I'm telling you, our country is not doing it. And Denver and cities and towns all over, we have so quickly defaulted to 40, 50, 60 miles an hour. We are bypassing human connection at every turn. And so for us, we feel like it's so profound to be connected to this inherent form of movement as an extension, as a partner to what Meetup is doing. So we're thrilled.
Thank you, Jonathan. Jean, you took over a Meetup. So could you talk a little bit about, I guess what I want to understand about that decision, and I'd like to hear a little bit about your...
First of all, it wasn't a decision.
Okay. Then let's go right there. Let's talk about it. Like, what? It's not a lot of meetups stop and then don't start again. But you not only kept it going, but you really grew it. And so I just want to talk about why you made that decision and what it's meant for you.
Okay, you're giving me a lot more credit than I'm actually. I actually
I
should
doubt
have.
that,
But I loved the idea of women supporting women. I have 3 of my own daughters. Won't forget my son, but I have 3 daughters and 3 granddaughters. And I've always been about women, and we talked a little bit this morning about personal responsibility. And I went to Women's Entrepreneurs Secrets of Success as a Meetup attendee. And I loved it. I loved the idea of these women were so supportive of my new business. And when I got 2 years after I went to about 4 meetings, I got in my inbox from Meetup, our organizer has stepped down. Would you be interested in participating, or would you be interested in being an organizer? And I'm telling you the truth. It said, click here for more information. And I clicked, and it took me to a page that said, congratulations. So it really wasn't a decision. Yeah. So I don't believe in coincidence.
We saw your potential. Where you did.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that. I don't believe in coincidences, so I just said to myself, how hard can it be to get a bunch of women together once a month to have lunch? And then it just... That's not a coincidence. That's good UX. So yes, that was my decision process. I said, what the hell?
And Denise, you guys are partners in crime, and you're really committed to growing WeSoS, but intentionally. You talked a little bit about that at breakfast this morning. Could you share a little bit more about that?
My road to WeSoS was a little different. Jean's been around for 7 years with our group. I've just been here for the last 18 months. So I'm the new kid on the block, but not the new kid in terms of business. So that was where we kind of rounded out our partnership. We have a very strategic goal when we're talking about adding new chapters. For us, that's each new meetup that comes along. Adding them strategically versus, oh, everybody can be a leader. Not everybody can be a leader. Not everybody has the skill set for it. We have a clamoring need in the Chicago area, and we have a lot of women who say we would really love a chapter here. My biggest concern is always holding on to the reins and not cannibalizing ourselves by starting too many meetups. I say this a lot, and our people are really, really sick of hearing it. The definition of cancer is uncontrolled growth. It just keeps going and going and going, and there's no intention or there's no authenticity behind it. We have a real strategic plan to make sure that that doesn't happen for us. You guys give us those tools. It is an amazing ability for us to be able to say, okay, we want to open in a geographical area and be able to put that meetup out and find people who've never heard of us and organically pull them in. So we really do that based on geography and demographics and density of women business owners, but that's really what we do.
Well, because without the intention, you lose the mission of what you guys are actually there to create.
Very much so. Ours is not simply a business organization. If you've ever been to a networking organization, you go there and you sit at the meeting and somebody says, okay, how many leads have you passed out? How many referrals have you given to everybody? I don't care. Jean and I are really here to facilitate relationships beyond your business. Everybody has a common context. They all own their businesses, and they all have the same women-owned business problems. That's the platform. What do you do after that? It's the same thing with what Meetup does is, yes, you're going to talk to each other over your computer, but can you get out? Can you talk to somebody and look at them in the face? So that's really what we do. And to make sure that we do that correctly, we're constantly checking in with our members and seeing, are you taking this outside of our meetings? Are you taking it outside of our meetup? And if you're not creating authentic relationships, we're doing something wrong. You've given us the platform to introduce people together, and then we have to then give them the opportunity and the skill sets to take it beyond what you give us.